Okay, maybe some of the reason, sometimes people kick out from the lesson when I record them, so I need to go. Connections. Okay, maybe some of the situations that we have there, okay, people kick out or maybe been removed automatically, okay, so has to rejoin back again. So because we have recording sessions here, hopefully it's okay there. Okay, now guys, okay, for those who actually still have a big kind of confusions there, okay, on developing your own business. Okay, if we check look closely on what we have been go through. You change the brushes like this. And of course, don't try to do your works using hard round brushes. Okay, use ultimate cowl, pencils, charcoals, line works or pen brushes there, okay, that you can have this kind of quality of line. Okay, when you come to draw the what we call that, the strokes there, okay, for the gaseous line there. Okay, if you take a look right now, all right, Wilson, okay, it's quite privileged. Okay, you should feel a bit more proud of you because I'm using your works as examples there, right? In order to develop your kind of understanding there, huh? All right, and to give some example to your friends there. Okay, now if you take a look closely, okay, when he actually draw this kind of gesture line there, right? Can you see a little bit kind of awkward there? Look like he tried to draw, right? A woman there, right? See? Right, a woman there. It is drawing, right? See? Huh. Can you see some weird thing happens there? Right. Is it? There's a belly over here. All right. So this area is quite okay there, okay, for the gaseous line there, okay, for the gaseous study. But this one, what is it? Draw the outline there. Right. Very sharp there, right? Ouch there, right? Huh? On the line. This one also, I don't know what is it. The shapes there. You try to draw an outline there, okay, out of those gaseous lines. Right. It's quite weird there about these drawings. And I don't understand that, right? Okay, how it works. If you want to study them back, okay, we want to analyze, like learn to analyze and study, right? Post-mortem, okay. Don't like he tried to draw. Maybe like what is it? Who is this? Do you know who is this? Who is this then?
Ultraman.
Ah, Ultraman there, right? Not Ultraman, Ultraman there, right? Yeah. See? You see there, okay? So it doesn't actually, I don't see any kind of connection between this drawing, right? Gaseous line with this. All right. So what we can do from here, if you really want to study, okay, based on the protocol and also the video that I showed just now from Jaza there, okay, the gaseous line there, okay, even though, okay, gaseous line is basically different than the continuous line drawing, but basic structures of the human figures there. first of all, what you can do, learn the gestures line there, or the line of actions that define, right? Define basically the pose itself. And then what you can do, the line that actually pose right here is define basically the postures for the whole entire of the pose, right? See, this is one of the basics kind of learning curve experience that you have to develop from your kind of understanding there, right? The next thing that you should do after this, okay, learn to develop the process of learning the structures back again. There, you see that? All right, the line that he draw here, okay, what is this line over here? What basically define or define the line, okay, what is this? Okay, when you look right here, this is basically the line of actions that I show. I can actually draw the line of actions like this, right? Because as long as you can define the directions of works, is good. Okay, now, if you want to see the center point of the whole, the center point of the whole design, this is basically the center point. The center point there, okay? Center line or center point there, okay? Of those point that mean point there, right? Point like this, like a line there, okay? Or the structures, okay? Or the measurement there. So from that center point, we define the alignments, okay? This is going to define the alignment of those eyes that have a curved line and lips. All right, see? That actually can be applied, okay, on these areas. Okay, if you take a look at the center point of this head, this is the center point there, okay? But they move the curved line into these areas to define the whole position structures of those structures that define the structures of those faces there. All right, you see that the difference there. So if you actually write, okay, Gilson or anyone, if you study this kind of methods there, back again when you draw them, they will define a lot, right? If I want to draw a bit kind of gestures line for these areas there, for the fingers, right? You cannot actually draw, you cannot actually just follow the way that I draw according to my speed. What I do basically, okay, is based on my practice there. But what you can do, you can draw slowly there to study the whole structure, because one of the good things when I move my hands here right now, right, is I'm not actually just trace them, but I try to develop back again my kind of understanding there. How about these areas there, belly there, right there? I didn't draw the belly like this, right? I draw the whole structures there first. Okay, remember this one, okay? Maybe he doesn't know how to draw this part there, okay? Then he tried to draw an outline there. So what I can do, I draw these triangle shapes. Remember that, okay, every single form or pictures that we want to draw were based on the shapes. So see how actually I work on that, okay? But I didn't have to draw this one there, right? Okay? Because it's not actually important for us, right, to draw them. But the shapes that actually define the whole structures here, okay? I will redraw them back, right? The shape itself there. But you have the privilege to see, to saw all these kind of knots, all these kind of shapes and form in more details. In more details there. Same goes to this one, that the directions of this one, okay? Break into shapes back again. Break into shapes there. This is the muscle connections there, right? Not only when you work out yourself, it has like muscle connections there. So when you draw the line and shape also, there has some muscle connections and break into the shapes here. See? Break into the shape. Okay? Right? Break into the shapes. So when you actually define all this kind of understanding here, there, right? When you draw them, you don't have to talk a lot about your drawings. Why? Because everything that you want to talk about or to explain, there has been shown on your drawings. And you see that, guys? It takes time there, right, to study there, right? That's why you have to do a lot of revisions there. You do wrong. When he draw outline of it. I didn't draw the outline from this drawings here. I draw basically the entire of the structures there. Okay? Of this reference. Okay, now. Just now, basically, when I draw, I'm using reference on top of it there, right? What if I want to start to draw back again, but right now I'm using my own kind of understanding there to draw this. Okay, you can actually zoom in and zoom out your images if you want to, but because I want to show you guys how it works right here. Okay, so I'm going to start to redraw back again, but I'm using, right, okay, the line of actions are going to be right here. All right, I change the size a bit there. And then I'm going to start to draw the whole structures of the neck. That is, I'm going to define the alignment that define, right, the nose structures there, the lips a bit there, right, and then the eyes there, right, for example, like that, and then the ears over here. Okay, simple kind of studies there, okay, but it defines the whole understanding there. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw the line that the alignment that actually define the shapes of their hands. So I break down the shapes of the hands here using the line itself. See the difference, shape itself. Then I'm going to define what we call that, right, the areas of the body is there, right, okay? The positions over here, right? So all these kind of studies came from the reference that we have in front of us or beside us there, right, okay? To draw the lines of the hands. You see how actually he defined them right here from there. So what I can do, I draw the line first that define the shapes. Even though it's not that accurate everything at this time, at this stage, but it's more than enough for us to, right? This is basically the joint, not the balls there, right? The joint that define the shapes of it. So what I can do, I try to communicate with those lines as close as I can, okay? All right. Even though it's not going to be quite accurate at the stage. Right? The shapes there, right? Okay? If you check it closely there, right? I'm still not drawing an outline for it. I start with the pointed or directions of the line of the curve for the shapes. I draw the whole position of the form of it, and then I draw the curved line that define the whole positions there for this entire of shapes there, or the fruit itself there, okay? There. Even though I can actually adjust a bit from here there, okay? A bit more. This is all about the gastric line, okay? A bit more details, but it show the form of it. We not actually draw the portrait of it, but if I want to draw a bit more details, yes, can. In this area here, just to define a bit more on the whole form of this brackets there, which I can actually like to do those kind of things. Can you see the difference there? You can see basically the positions, the studies that we do. So one of the most important things that you have to remember there, okay, from this stage, I want to select only these areas. All right, delete those areas there, so you can see more clear kind of. What you call that? You have more clear kind of understanding what is going on here there, okay? Especially when you study the whole gastric line. You see that, guys? So other than we study the whole form, we actually try to develop our flow of structures there, okay? But the most important thing that you have to remember on these lessons, it's not all about just to study the gastric line there, right? And then when you design your characters, you will start over back again to draw like this. Not that. It's the relations there, the connections, the link there, okay? The chain kind of reactions maybe there, okay? Connections right between the whole process will bring into to design back again your characters there. How you present your kind of drawings there, okay? That's what basically will get into the writing, the way that we are going to work. Because a lot of people, some people, maybe some people, I think most of them, when they start to what we call that, develop this kind of methods today, I can see that they can do quite well when they trace or draw on top of other person kind of reference or design there. But the problem is when you don't develop enough kind of understanding there, because these methods of working will not actually can apply on one certain kind of exercise there. They can be applied also when you want to study other people's characters there. I have shown you guys a lot before. If you know how the connection is, if you actually practice back again in the right way, and improve a lot, they will, right? You will actually find a lot of benefits from there. I think one of the students cannot join us there, I don't know why. So I can't join. Oh, I also can't join. All right. Joyce, are you here? All right. Are you here, Joyce? On group one? All right. Okay, guys. Okay, can you see the connections there? Okay, I didn't design new characters yet. All right. Can you see how actually they're going to be working? But what are the most important things that you have to remember here? one of the most important thing or lesson that you have to learn from here. You have to improve your drawing skills, or you're controlling your pressure surface. I think those are the things that you have to remember, that is, and to improve the writing. For those who have actually quite hard time to develop this kind of methods, I know it's not that quite easy directly, but I don't believe that one people cannot make those changes. Each one of you guys can make those changes if you really, really open up your mind. The only things that make us cannot move on to change the way that we want to develop our skills there, I think, is all about this here, mindset. Right. The mindset only there, I think. If you can change the mindset, you can do a lot of things from there. Okay? Mindset has to be changed there. Right now. Okay, where we want to go from here. Okay, let's just say you want to design a characters out from this reference there, right? Okay, what we can do from here. They're going to be a bit challenging, like right now. Okay, you want to design this guy become a character, okay? Any character that you want. Okay? So take a look how actually I simplified things here. Okay, let me close this one there first. All right, close our histories of painless kind of powers there. All right. Now, so I'm using a very soft kind of colors because they will make us psychologically can be have a more fluid kind of way there, right, of working there. Okay? So now, let's just say we want to simplify things. We want to design characters, right? Human characters, that is. I try to get a very kind of smooth kind of line there, I think, to define this kind of shape there. So what I can do from here, I'm going to try to what we call that. Have a very good kind of understanding on the gesture kind of line first. So what I can do from here, okay, I will start to design. I'm going to draw a human character first out of this, but I'm going to improvise a little bit there, right? Okay, so you see, right? Okay, this is the jaw of my character there, right? Jaw of it, okay, and the nose, I'm going to point it a bit there, right? Okay, yeah, like that. So the jaw there, right? Okay, because he actually quite sporty kind of guy there, right? Then the lips, the eyes, the ears, okay, the alignment of the ears. I'm still using the same alignment, the directions there, okay? Okay, like that. Try to draw a bit more muscular there on the neck. Simplify the shapes there. Then the hands, right? The hands there, right? Smaller a bit there, right? Okay. Shoulders a bit. Okay, this is a sketch line there, guys, okay? Shoulder a bit more bigger, lah. Right? Bigger a bit, right? If you take a look right now, okay, this is the hands, the arms or the bicep there, right? I'm using this kind of shapes there, and the arms, okay, the hands, and those fingers there, for example, like that. Okay. So if we actually really understand about our own situation of design those characters, right? So the pelvis bit more smaller there, right? Okay, I'm going to use the shapes a bit. Because why I actually use this kind of shapes there, because I'm connected my design with the with the with the actual kind of what we call that reference. It's first there, okay, at the first there, okay, because we want to study the whole thing there. We want to study first the shapes of it, okay, draw the foot itself. Okay. So if you take a look closely there, right, I begin to understand the whole structures of my design here. Okay? I begin to understand that, right, whether I can actually want to design the head, the shapes of the head later on. Okay, we're talking about the way actually we develop those kind of connections there, right? It looks like a caricature, but it's not like it. But it came from this guy. I designing. I developed a character out of it. Right? So if you take a look closely at it, I begin to get the touch there, okay, the connections there between this guy as a person becoming a character there. You see there, okay, the line itself. I didn't actually draw the shapes of it, the outline of it. I draw the shapes of it, but I develop also the strong kind of connection within the form itself there. How actually I get all these kind of ideas there. Right? I also do the same kind of things there, like you guys. I do a lot of revisions to what we call that, watch other people's works, other people kind of reference, and then I try to connect it, my understanding from what I saw to my own styles of working there. I develop my own character. Right now, if you take a look there, okay, I didn't do much kind of copy kind of things there, but I will design my own kind of characters there. Okay? I'm not actually trying to give a lot of attentions to draw other people's kind of style like anime, manga kind of style there, right? Or other people kind of design here. What I did right now, I try to draw my own kind of way there. Right? Basically, to draw fingers also, we need to have another session there. But I want to give you guys also examples there how actually I connected, okay? Okay, if you actually look carefully how actually I develop this kind of understanding there, right? You can learn also from this kind of lessons here. I did a lot of simplifications. Okay, simplifications there on the shapes that I want to draw there, right? See, I even can actually not just copy and to improvise the thing that I saw. That's why when you want to study something and to draw something there, right? Study first as I actually have shown you guys right now. Because when you have that strong kind of foundations here, right? If you have that strong kind of foundations there, right? Okay. With the muscles that I actually draw from the legs, also I can actually improvise there, right? Okay? Drawing the shapes itself there. But all of it came from those gaseous line drawings there. I can draw also the feet and the foot there. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay? The line itself from here to here. All right? Designing back again the characters there. Yeah. Can you see all the connections there? Look easy there, right? Because I spent entire of my life doing this. Right, those are the differences. But I give you guys also some tips there how it works. Yeah, right. So I didn't actually ask you guys much there, okay? I didn't actually ask you guys to draw exactly as details there. But I asked you guys to learn to simplify things from now on. But when you learn to simplify things, don't learn from copying from other people's works only there. Learn also to develop your understanding to break down the shapes using those sketches, line and strokes, and to study the element and the principles that apply from there, from the alignments, the balance, the proportions, right? The center point, the line of actions that flows there. Do you guys understand how it works there? So from here we can go a lot there, okay? About colorings, for me, it's not that hard to develop this kind of thing, to shadings and shapes there. Even though there's a few kind of discipline that you have to apply like from there. But what actually I've been going through with the student there, okay? If you don't have, if you don't build up your strong kind of connections there, foundations there, this is what happens. Yeah, this is what happens. Because this is a degree student. I not actually try to offend her basically, but maybe she doesn't actually have a very strong kind of foundations to develop, or maybe she's not actually draw a lot, spend more time draw a lot, right? Because when she draw also some of these kind of cute characters there, right? There is a lot of flaws that we can see. There's a lot of weakness that we can see from those designs, right? Unless she planned to draw like a kid's lah, okay? Because I did also show her how to draw environments before there, okay? But very kind of, because I remember we don't have enough time to learn back again basic drawings there. Because animation subjects is required for you guys to learn also the tools that will apply to animate the characters, right? But if you didn't have a very strong foundations, develop the right kind of lines, right kind of way to clean up the line there, right? Okay? The whole situations of learning process or to refine your works are going to be quite difficult. Because the way that she draw also the environment here, I think is most probably she just traits from the samples, right? Okay, because if I want to draw back again, if I want to draw like her there, I think I want to draw a few kind of examples on the houses there, I think I will draw a very simple kind of sketch there, right? Okay, without any reference there, right? Without any reference. A gestures line there, right? Okay, for the houses there, right? Simple kind of chimney, right? Okay, right, some patterns over here, right? Okay, there's what we call the balconies there, right? Okay, maybe some of the fences there, right? And then this is basically a door, right? The windows over here, for example, there, right? Maybe there's a two stories there, right? Of houses there, right? And then I can draw basically there's a vase over there, a plant over there, right? Sketch line there, right? Every sketch, okay? This is the gesture sketch line. I can draw a tree, right? Okay, this is my first ideas of the houses, right? If I want to learn basically back again, okay, the basic structures of those houses from there, I can draw another one there, right? Okay, using the different positions. but I'm going to draw very different kind of houses that may be there, right? I guess, okay, I didn't actually learn perspective formally there, but logically, I know basically how it works, but I will actually give you guys also some examples later on, right? Don't worry. But I want to show you guys right now how actually we can calibrate gesture line understanding with this kind of drawings here. See? Gesture line understanding there, right? There's a plan over here. And then a tree. Right. What type of tree? Don't ask me there, right? Okay. Alright. Okay. I can draw also the coconut tree there, right? Over there, like kampung kind of style, okay, combined together with the Malaysian kind of foods. So gestures line there, guys. Okay, I can draw also from these positions, for example. Okay. Well, what I did basically right now, I simplified the shapes of the houses there. So what I can do, sketch line there, right? Or more, a little bit more like the rumah panjang than what we call the houses there. So from what I actually have experienced, I can actually cooperate with my ideas there, right? Okay? Maybe this rumah panjang, okay, because this is a fictional kind of stories. There is an astro over there, right? I can actually do a bit more kind of room, all right? Top room over here, okay, for these houses there, right? Look, not quite what we call that logic, right? But it can done there, okay? This is only a half sketch there, okay? The very kind of sketch kind of line there, okay? Ideas there, okay? I can draw also some of the coconut trees over here. What basically I want you guys to see, right, okay, from my kind of demonstrations there, right, how actually connected with gestures line drawings with this environment kind of stuff, because we are going to go through with it back again and come to our second assignment, right? See, when you have enough kind of knowledge to develop your kind of skills there, to develop your ideas in a short times, even though you see my face, not see my hands, right, okay, when I actually draw this, you can see how quick I can actually develop ideas to come up with 3 different designs for the houses. Then I can draw more, right? If I want to draw a bit more here, see the way they actually move my hands, okay? Check the way they actually draw basically the houses from this stage there, right? Okay? See the diagonal line there, okay? This one I think I'm going to explain a bit more later on. I can draw the back of the house. I can draw also the what we call that, like a porch there, right? Okay, from these houses there. Okay, there's an extra kind of roof over there. Okay, this is the main kind of door there, right? Okay, the entrance, right? So I divide into 2 different frames, okay, for the windows over here, right? And now there's a window also on top of it. Maybe there's a windows over here if you want to, there, okay? Of course, all right. There's a windows over here also for the back door. And then I'm going to draw also some trees over here. Simple kind of tree there, okay? Yeah. All right. So what you can do from here, you can have a very simple kind of different kind of styles of houses there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what gestures line can help us to sketch more better there, right? Okay? I want you guys to sketch more better before you're going to do your kind of illustrations there. All right? So that's where basically one of the important things that I want to emphasize for this week kind of exercise there. Right? But it actually paid, or I already paid myself quite what we call that some health condition for this week. But okay, when I get back into those track, I will show, okay, I can show you guys a bit more kind of adaptive kind of way that to work with your kind of developments there, right? Huh? So this is what makes it, okay? Gestures line to develop your understanding, but okay, whatever that you guys have been going through here, hopefully will not bring you guys back again to this one. Hopefully not. Can you see the the difference, okay, the connections, like the mistake that some people do that will give you a bit more kind of understanding here. Where and how actually you're going to manage to work with your skills. Okay, guys? So take serious on the gestures line there, okay? Even though it's not actually a part of those, it's only a weekly exercise that we can add more on your marks from here. But it's not just about exercise there. It's a part of the connection between your understanding to develop your kind of knowledge and also skill at the same time, right? So it's all about that. The benefits of working with this kind of exercise is all about to design your character back again in more effective way, and also to develop your ideas there more effective way also. They will show more kind of your understanding there when you want to present your ideas in the future. Okay? Any questions? I don't want to emphasize on the coloring yet because it's not that kind of important generally for you guys to develop that kind of understanding, because I believe you guys have also been working on with the color kind of combinations technique in image manipulation, right? Is it? What basically you have been working on before for the next project for image manipulations? Can you guys share with me a bit? What you guys have been going through with image manipulation subjects?
Yeah, character.
Hmm? What is it?
We create a character by using Illustrator.
You create what, Kelly? Sorry. Chasing?
Yeah, we have to for image manipulation. We got one assignment is to create a character using the Illustrator.
Okay. How actually you create your characters there?
Mm,
Trace from other people's works and then you pin back again. Is it?
uh, the teacher gave us two options. We can create our own characters, or we can trace from others and then make some changes on it.
So for you, how actually you cooperate with those kind of, how actually you connect with your kind of learning experience from my classes with your with those subjects there.
I learned the gesture line here, so I use the gesture line to create my characters for assignment in image manipulation.
And then you recreate them back lah.
Yeah,
Okay. Recreate them back. How do you find those process there? Okay? Is it useful?
yeah, it's very useful.
Yeah.
Like
So is
have
it
a better understanding on the how the human structure look like
from where?
from the gesture line.
That's just line lah.
Yeah,
What kind of character that you did?
I
Still
draw a
2D
chibi
characters
character.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, okay. What actually have been discussed with some of the committee there, okay? Not from Tata, you see there, okay? Um, don't limit yourself to design only chibi characters, okay, at this stage. Even though, uh, okay, we have 7 characters that we can develop there, okay, for our first assignment, right? Is it? So don't limit yourself. Design all those 7 characters, one single style of them. That's why I asked you guys, okay, draw 7 design from the same subject matters but different style. Why? Because if you limit yourself to learn to design chibi characters only, I think this is what happens to, I think, for these students there. Doesn't have a lot of varieties there. So when she draw these characters, is almost look the same. I'm not talking about this is only the style that she can do. As a student, you have to experiment more. Why? This is the time for you to explore a bit more. Otherwise, it look like the proportion also doesn't look right. Okay, because basically you actually have been experienced, right? Okay, the consultation that we have, how actually I improvise your characters from there, right? Okay? So
Yeah.
this is the same issues problem that we have. If you saw basically, okay, she actually approaches her design at this stage. Hopefully, even though you're afraid to change other people's works, but you know the mistakes there. Hopefully, you can learn from here. Okay, oh, I can see, even though you're not actually doing that, right? You can see there's some of the mistakes about the construction line, the position, the styles that she worked from here, right? If I want to make some sort of, okay, she want to draw an what we call that. She want to draw basically an old person as a characteristic, right? So let me actually, maybe I'm going to cut a little bit, right? Okay, let's just say she want to draw, okay, without having relying on the reference, okay, because I want to, because the sessions that I did right now, I'm going to show also her, okay, basically by taking the videos there. That's how actually I conduct the lessons and give some examples there. Let's just say she wants to draw an old guy kind of characters there, grandfather, okay? Okay, I'm going to study the shapes of the old person like this. Okay. This is basically, right, the shapes of it. Okay, simple kind of shape that circles and maybe a rectangle, but I bend a bit, okay? The person itself. But the subject matter that I want to draw from the old persons, maybe, right, is a wall. I want to draw the person where the cane, right, and also the legs there, okay? Balance them up, lah, right? Okay, between the legs there. But I did give you guys also some examples, right? Okay, how to draw a characters from the head positions there, right? So right now, okay, the another hands maybe right here. One of the reason I break into 2 segments there, right? Okay, because easy for us to animate them, right? So this is the positions, right? This is basically the structure, right? But these positions is maybe 3/4 view, right? I didn't decide yet, but it's more easy for us to design a characters from this 3/4 view there. Okay, the next thing is I'm going to add a bit kind of details there. But the subject matters I want to draw, if the characters is, if the subject matters is came from an owl there, even though we require a lot of references, right? Because I've shown you guys before, actually, I developed that kind of process. So I want to make a bit more quicker there, okay? But if you don't have that kind of mentality that I actually show, right, because I actually try to digest all informations in my head. That came from imaginations lah. But that imagination, I didn't say I get all this kind of imagination from nowhere. Suddenly, got, of course, okay, if I want to show my belief, everything came from the boss up there already. He actually gave me that kind of ideas of thinking of these kind of things. But it came also logically from my experience. Okay, because we have to push ourselves there, okay, to develop all this kind of learning process. Okay, we have to work hard for it. All the hardness that I actually have, all the experience that I actually gain, I get all those informations and I will put it into this design already. As simple as I want to do, I'm going to use these two different shapes into one single shape here. For example, like this one there, okay? One single shape like this. I don't want to make my life a bit more, what we call that, hard there, okay? So I will play a very simple kind of shape like this, see? This is the mustache there, right? See? The mustache, and this is the eyebrows of the old people there, okay? Now, I will draw the hands, simple hands there, okay? There. And these are going to be the cane. Now, the legs and the shoes and the legs there, okay? Simple kind of design like this. Can you see the postures, all right, of the old man over here, right? From this design, okay, he's wearing a hat, all right? If I want to draw some simple kind of hair, you see the postures there, right? From there. So this is what we call creativity, and I try to develop as simple as I can get to develop an old guy characters without using a basic shapes there, without have a lot of difficulty to think a lot of this complexity of those subjects there. Old peoples have the maybe very less hair, right? Bald hair there, right? Okay. Right? He has a mustache there, right? Got the, what we call that, I think he's wearing a cane or tongkat there, I think. And then wearing a glasses. The glasses also I'm using very old kind of shapes there. Okay, a curved line there, okay, or like a umbrella kind of shapes there, okay. Okay, now what else you can do? Okay, I can do a lot from here. Right, he's wearing a hat, right, thick mustache, but less a little bit, okay, from those eyebrows. He has a very what we call that, very bend down kind of what we call that postures there to show basically, right, he has a lot of problem with the back there, I think, of his back. And then what I can do from here, I can do more. I can draw, he's wearing shirts, right, there, all right, he's wearing a shirts there, but a very tidy kind of shirts there, because a lot of old people, I think, like these kind of styles of guy, he actually has right, even though I'm using this kind of shape styles there, I think, on the hands there. Now I can do so the hands itself. I can draw also the hands has a very less kind of muscles there, I think. Yeah, like that. Simplify that. I can draw the nose. Right. And then glasses back again. eyes, the eyebrows, and then the head itself there. Continue to draw the head there. There. Right. Then I'm going to draw the king. I'll cut that. I can draw a lot from those design if I want to, right? Even though the is kind of what we call that. This is only a rough sketch there of my work, of my design. Okay? You see the difference there. You can do a lot from here if I want to. Okay? Around here, if I don't satisfied with this one direction, what I can do, I go back into the subject matters that we have to go through there before, and all direct. So what I can do, draw the shapes of the beak. It has a like this kind of shapes over here, right? And then, okay, the owl has a big ears, a big eyes. This, right? But the eyes that I actually designed is part of the glasses. All right. And then what else there? Okay, we can do from here. So I'm going to design, basically, he has this kind of shapes of the hair. Right. Then I'm going to start to work with the body chart there, right? Okay, the body shapes. The hands. All right, now basically the arms there is more like a wing, his wing there. Then I'm going to draw those legs. And also the cane came from a part of those what do you call that, branches there. Okay, see, so idea developments there. Okay, idea developments there. An owl there, right? So from here, right, if I want to draw from these positions there, okay, sketch it out first. The eyes, okay, the beak, right, the shapes of the old man, right, we call that from these positions. The glasses itself, all right, the arms itself here, and then the legs, right. This is only a what we call that sketches first, okay. One of my studies, okay, on these characters. So you can see, right, okay, an owl kind of characters based on this design. I redesigned them back, okay. So the side profiles there, side profiles of this design there. Okay, the side profiles there. And maybe he's going to be look like this one there. This is side profile. Okay, sketches line there. Okay? Gestures line, sketches line that can define all these kind of characteristics. Yeah. All right, Muhammad. All right. So that one there, right? Okay. Cool. You can see, right? Okay, this is basically not the final kind of design that I'm going to create, but the development process. A lot of people always want to have a very quick kind of results there, right? Okay? There's no such thing. Either you actually copy, trace from other people's works and refine them, or maybe you just simply draw, right, and then modify a bit from other people's works, then you can get a quick results. But of course, from that stage, when you want to turn your design into different positions, remember what I said, okay? When people ask me, okay, when they send me a few sketches only there, okay, a few samples only there, okay? Remember about my kind of comment, okay? I always say that try to draw another 20 poses based on that kind of design, right? Then you can see whether you can work with that characters or not. If you can't, that means you have to change. I would say I will change this design. Okay, this design back again, because it's not actually have the right kind of criteria that I want to work from there. But it's a good start there to develop your kind of ideas of how it works. Okay. All right. So this is what is it, guys. The gestures line exercise, right? The idea how to develop this kind of understanding on the basic structures. It came from. It will go back into this kind of understanding there. All right. Any questions? Any questions? So if you don't have any questions,